Patriots, fight back. We talked about the Proclamation of 1763 and how angry the colonists were because England said, "No, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to go to the west. You need to stay to the east of the Appalachian Mountains." So this was one of the first causes of the American Revolution. And today we're going to speak about the next cause. So what happened was, because the French and Indian War cost so much money, England said they had to come up with a plan of how they were going to pay for all for the army and for all the colonists that are living in the New World. So the government needed money to pay for the America and the army. So the British government thought that the British should help pay for this. And when we say the British, I mean the colonists. So this is in England, and this is what the building, the Parliament, looks like. It's beautiful, isn't it? And inside this building that they had during the American Revolution, this is what the inside looked like, and these were all of the people that helped make the laws in England. So the Parliament is the one that got all together, all the representatives in Parliament said, make the colonists pay for all of the expenses of the army that helped fight the French and Indian War. Now, that would seem like it's fair, but the problem was that no colonist, there was not one colonist that was represented in the Parliament. They didn't have anyone come over to Parliament to help make any laws and what was fair to them. Only the people in England made the laws for the colonists. And that angered the colonists very much. They said, if you want us to be part of Parliament, then you need to have us represented in Parliament. And they did not get representation. So there's a big phrase called representation without no taxation without representation. That means you have no right to tax us if we're not going to be represented in England. So they said, all right, how about, the Parliament decided this, how about we start taxing the colonists on certain items that they buy? And this was called the Stamp Act of 1765. So far we have angered the colonists. The Parliament has angered the colonists with a proclamation of 1763, and now we have the Stamp Act of 1765. These taxes were placed on newspapers and pamphlets, wedding certificates, any type of land deeds, playing cards, anything that had to do with paper. A stamp was placed on the item that they were purchasing to show that they paid for them. This was extremely unfair to the colonists. And this was the second cause of the American Revolution.
Then, Parliament passed the Stamp Act. This law required the colonists to pay a tax, or stamp, for all their papers. Newspapers, legal papers, everything. The Stamp Act is important because it was the first time Parliament had even tried to collect taxes in the colonies. The colonists believed that Parliament didn't have that right because they weren't represented in Parliament. The colonists said they could only be taxed by their own local governments. The colonists began to protest. One of the leaders of the protest was Samuel Adams of Boston, who organized a secret society called the Sons of Liberty. The protests were so effective that Parliament repealed the Stamp Act. But they also passed a law saying that they had the right to rule the colonies and tax the colonists. And in 1767, they tried that again.
What's happening?
We're drifting apart!
All right. Where are we?
It's 1773, and you're in Boston, Massachusetts, on the eve of the American Revolution.
Mo, where are you, Mo?
You see, I told you I heard someone whispering.
Peyton, this is a secret meeting. We've all been whispering.
Oh. Well, that's all right then.
Have any of you seen a girl about so tall, big, cartoony eyes?
No, it's just you and we colonists, and welcome you are. We're going to show the British they can't tell us what to do anymore.
Patrick's right. Who puked their guts out crossing the ocean to build homes and farm these colonies? We did! And who was cat poking his royal nose in our business? He has!
Hey, I bet you'd be pretty good at paintball.
Peyton's a chicken farmer, not a painter.
We showed King George just how we felt about his greedy Stamp Act.
Stamp Act?
They're talking about the stamp tax. To raise money through taxes, Britain made the colonists buy stamps for every single itsy-bitsy piece of printed paper they used. It was a surefire way to raise cash, since stamps had to be bought for newspapers, all documents, even playing cards. To protest, the colonists stopped buying all British goods. That really upset the king.
This is all very interesting, but shouldn't we be looking for Mo?
Don't worry about her. Worry about yourself.
Hey, did you hear what we did to the King's stamp agent?
Peyton supplied the feathers, I brought the tar.
Now maybe Britain will leave the colonies alone.
I know I'm not supposed to be with the British. And where's Stitch? I can't find him anywhere.
Don't worry about Stitch. Worry about yourself.
Marge! Oh, careful, not so rough.
Are we gonna be a cranky pants about a few sticky feathers or what?
Those blasted Americans won't get away with this. Out!
Right you are, Smithens. They're a disgrace to the mother country.